Hi, what's your name?
Rick Jones.
Rick, good to know you.
Good to know you, Chris.
Why don't we start off and give me a little professional background? Tell me about yourself.
I'd be happy to. I always felt that I was pretty privileged in my career. I started off with Westin Hotels in kind of a grassroots fashion. Started in the food and beverage division, running a restaurant for Westin in Seattle, and became a cost analyst in food and beverage, worked the front desk, kind of tried to learn everything I possibly could about the industry at that time. Was fortunate enough to be able to have been promoted to a position as a fixtures, furnishings, and equipment coordinator.
That's hard to say.
It is, it is. And frankly, we call it an FF&E coordinator. And that was basically controlling all of the coordination of goods and services going into a hotel and a new construction project. So moved to Houston, Texas at first and opened a hotel for Westin there, and then they transferred me to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Opened another hotel.
It's a nice town.
It was a great town. And then I was offered a job to go back to Seattle, the corporate offices, and as a purchasing manager. And that was actually a fascinating position because I got an opportunity at that time to learn about import-exports and worked purchasing for products in not only the Philippines, but Singapore, and some domestic properties as well. So a lot of fun. A few years went by, and I had an opportunity to move to Las Vegas, Nevada, and as a capacity of a director of purchasing for Caesar's Palace. I must admit, at first I didn't want that job. I didn't think I wanted to raise my family in a gaming environment. Knew nothing about gaming at the time or the entertainment business, for that matter. Very, very fortunate that I'm happy that I took the position, came down, and it's a fascinating industry. It's so fast-paced that being an operations director of purchasing there, you do for everything from welding to wedding cakes and everything you can think in between.
Yeah, welding to wedding cakes.
Welding to wedding cakes. And that job was great. I was rewarded, was promoted to a vice president of purchasing for Caesars, and then later, thank you. Later I was promoted to corporate vice president of purchasing after the acquisition was handled by ITT Gaming. ITT bought Caesars World. Now we had charge of over 9 properties in the United States and North America, and had the chance to open up a shared services division for them. And at that time, that was a relatively new concept. Shared services was talked about a lot, but nobody had really done it in a large scale. Okay. I had the national contracting and materials management divisions for that company. And we had also the financial aspects of the company as well. So 2 of us opened that division for the company. And I got to say that I was very proud that over the first year, we saved over $40 million to the bottom line in our expenses.
Very impressive.
So it was challenging, but a lot of fun.
Let me ask you this: what would you say has what's distinguished you in your field? What set you apart and made you? What got you those promotions?
Well, I think it's my view of purchasing, Chris. I think I view purchasing more as a profit center. I know a lot of people look at that and they say, well, purchasing is pretty rudimentary. It is 3 bids, award the contract, and make sure you have your terms and conditions in a legal document in place. And it goes so far beyond that. It really has to do all the way back to supply chain management. And what I mean by that is, what are the raw materials? Where are the raw materials coming from? Is it an agricultural product? Is it a mineral? Is it something that is manufactured in a factory? All the way through to the consumer. And to get to that, you have to understand what your transparency and pricing is. And to drive down to understanding every one of those steps and what I like to call the should cost. And truly, that's just what it is. What should it cost? And if you understand each of those facets of the business, you drive down to exactly that, and you will bring the best value you possibly can to a company.
Intelligent purchasing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, at this point, Rick, what's next? What are you looking forward to doing?
Well, I'm looking for a company that will be able to utilize my talents and my competencies in not only project management, but certainly purchasing, negotiation, supply chain, driving out and bringing up the best ROI possible. And I'm also looking for a company that would value someone that is a visionary as I am.
Very good. Well, I'm sure any company would be fortunate to have you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rick. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.